Hello, I'm Dale Carden, Senior Advisor at the US-UAE Business Council. I'm pleased to introduce a new episode of our latest digital series, The Council Talks COP28. In this series, we speak to representatives of American and Emirati companies that are championing sustainability and playing a vital role in supporting COP28 in the UAE. In this new episode, we interview Adam Gromis, Global Lead for Sustainability Policy at Uber. Adam explains the measures Uber is taking to advance sustainable operations and practices and minimize its environmental impact. Adam also reveals that Uber has the largest number of drivers of electric vehicles and that they're working with several partners in the UAE to increase the number of electric vehicles in the region. Now, over to Adam.
Uber is working to become the cleanest platform on the planet because it's the right thing to do for our people, for cities, and our business. So for us, the biggest opportunity is to do what we can to shift our product platform to an all-electric service. That's why Uber's committed by 2030 in the US, Canada, and Europe to have all rides that we serve be completed by zero-emission vehicles, by micromobility or public transportation. And by 2040, everywhere we operate, more than 70 countries around the world. We've seen some really encouraging initial results. As of the second quarter of this year, 2023, more than 61,000 all-electric drivers are participating on Uber every month in the US, Canada, and Europe. That's the largest number of drivers in zero-emission vehicles on any platform in North America or Europe. And it's about 2.5 times more than we saw just a year ago. Those drivers, as of the second quarter of this year, were doing 31 million trips every quarter. 31 million all-electric trips. That's about 170 all-electric trips per battery EV driver, which is really exciting because that means for local economic impact, that means 170 opportunities for earnings for the driver for a green economy. It means 170 transactions where the driver is using locally produced electricity, 170 opportunities for the driver and the rider to have a conversation about EVs and why there's a great opportunity for the transportation sector to shift. We're well on track to achieve this goal in the Middle East, and particularly in parts like the UAE. We're working with a number of partners, particularly fleet partners on the ground, to increase the amount of electric vehicles that are available to drivers in the region. In Dubai, for instance, we work with several fleet partners to ensure that as of this year or so, next year, several hundred battery EVs will be in operation, offering rides throughout Dubai, which will make it one of the largest, if not the largest, zero-emission passenger service fleet and network in the area, which we're really encouraged by. We recently reduced the price of our green product. And in Dubai, if you take Uber Green, that's an all-electric trip. And we know that affordability is so crucial to ensuring that we see high consumer adoption and utilization of those vehicles. In fact, Dubai has had an all-electric product on Uber for a number of years now. It was one of our initial launch cities many years ago, even before 2020 when we made our first global commitment. It's been great to engage with partners in the region to show that going all-electric is possible everywhere. Our aim is to help the first several 100,000 drivers make that switch sooner than later. And as of our most recent report on this, which was last year's ESG report, as of the end of 2022, more than a third of that has already been realized or set aside for drivers, which we're really, really pleased by. We do this through a couple different means. So the first is incentives from Uber. At the end of the day, Uber operates a digital marketplace for passenger mobility. The second thing that we do is work on discounts. And Uber, representing a network of millions of drivers around the world, what we do is we bring that driver base to bear, and we engage with rental partners, with financing partners, with automakers to try and bargain for getting drivers the most affordable access to EVs that they'll find anywhere. We've also engaged with the charging side of the equation to ensure that drivers have as good or better access to charging networks than they'll find anywhere. And lastly, it's so important to focus on education and bringing drivers into the conversation around what's an EV, how is it different than the Prius that you might have driven previously, what does an EV mean for you, what do you do about charging. When we survey drivers around the world, about a quarter or so tell us that they're not sure. They don't know much about EVs. They don't have experience, and that's totally fair. So we want to meet them where they're at and offer those educational resources. It's certainly a momentous COP28 in Dubai, and a momentous place to be holding this COP as the world convenes to observe the stocktake results. So we're very excited to join in that conversation. We think as far as what we can do to be supportive and to be joining the global community and leaders around the world and pushing for ambition as it relates to transport electrification, which is so critical for the transport sector to meet 2050 targets for decarbonization. We think it's four things: results, products, partnership, and policy. What do I mean by those? So first, results. Companies like ours, and Uber's one of the largest global mobility platforms in the world. So it's certainly, we see ourselves as having a responsibility to do our utmost to decarbonize the mobility products that we offer to customers around the world. Second is product. With the conference being hosted in Dubai, Uber has an all-electric product available in Dubai today. You can push a button, get an all-electric ride from the airport to your hotel in Dubai or to whatever the attractions are in the Dubai area you may be visiting. The third thing is partnership. We know we cannot get there alone. We believe that no one company, no one government can get to full decarbonization alone, particularly in the transport sector. So we're keen to not only stand next to the partners and partnerships we've already built, but be interested and open to learning from more folks from the government side, from the industry side, to ask the question, what can we do to go further, faster? How can we work together? Because we know it's going to take everyone's effort moving in the same direction. And finally, policy. We recognize that EV markets around the world do not exist without fantastic supportive policies from national governments on down. So we want to join in the global conversation around thoughtful policies that create win-win conditions for local residents, for the cities themselves, and for businesses to really all be moving in the same direction.